It's time to fire this thing up.
Welcome aboard ShipShape TV Essentials. This is your port of call for the most impactful upgrades, expert advice, and hands-on solutions from seasons past. This episode is proudly brought to you by SureHold, because anything worth doing is worth doing bright. From cleaning to protecting and perfecting, SureHold has everything you need to keep your boat shining. Don't just go boating, go showboating. Now, let's hoist anchor and set a course for another exciting episode of ShipShape TV Essentials.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. ShipShape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ShipShape means trouble-free. ShipShape means being neater. ShipShape makes boat work easier. ShipShape is the way to go. The ShipShape Boat Care Show.
ShipShape is being brought to you in part by the Marine Industries Association of Palm Beach County, boating, the lifestyle of Palm Beach County, and by High Seas Fabrication, the finest in marine metal fabrication, and by Stella Marine, a crest above the rest, and by Ocean Marine, worldwide excellence in marine air conditioning.
Welcome to ShipShape, the Boat Improvement Show. I'm your host, John Greviskis, and this is my partner, the whipping antenna man himself, Burt.
Howdy, folks.
We're on location today at Seminole Boat Yard in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And today's topic is probably one of the most serious topics we'll ever discuss.
Your VHF radio.
We're going to show you some of the latest technologies in radios and how to properly install one.
If there's a project or some equipment that you'd like us to cover here at ShipShape, drop us a line or send us a fax.
And if we use your suggestion on the show, you'll receive one of these official ShipShape t-shirts, just like Antenna Boy here's holding.
Write your project suggestions to ShipShape, the TV show. Attention Project Director, Post Office Box 31561, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida 33420. Or fax us at area code 407-626-4348.
Burt, give us the lowdown on what happened here.
Okay, this boat belongs to Mark Woodbury and his father. Last weekend, Mark and his dad were out fishing, and they tried to make a couple calls on the radio and weren't able to raise anybody. Mm-hmm. They radio checked a couple of times and got absolutely nobody. So the radio is just, it's old. It's had a lot of time on the ocean, so it's got a lot of salt intrusion. You know, he's had it repaired I think twice, and it just continues to go out. You know, the mic went, it won't hold channels. It's just.
So it's time to replace it.
Yeah, the radio's just got a lot of time on it. It's time to put a new one in.
Okay. Well, how about if we do this? Why don't you go ahead and get set up for today's project? I'll head on over to Boat Owner's Warehouse and speak with my friend Larry, see what he has available.
Okay, great. I'll pull this one out and wait for you to get back.
Cool. Hi, Larry.
Morning, John. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Okay. What are you working on today?
We're putting in a new VHF radio. A friend of Burt's blew his up.
Okay. Was it short?
Well, we're really not sure. That's what we're going to figure out. But regardless, we're going to need a new radio. I was wondering if you could help us out.
Sure. I got quite a few different options over here, and we'll make a selection for you.
Good. Thanks.
Okay.
Well, we're putting the radio in a 22-foot Mako with a T-top.
Okay. For that installation, I'll select the Apelco 5160, made by the Raytheon Corporation.
I've heard of those people.
That's a completely watertight radio.
Really?
It has the basic 55 channels, 4 weather channels. 16 plus, it has a emergency weather channel that will override if there's weather changes on you. Mm-hmm. It also will monitor, scan a couple different channels for you.
Okay. Now on the 16 plus, channel 16, who monitors that?
That's monitored by the Coast Guard 24 hours a day.
Okay, so if there's an emergency that you're having, you just hit that button and boom, you're going to be heard.
Correct, yes.
That's real important.
Yes,
that's
very
real
important.
Now, I know a lot of the radios have a lot of special upgrades. You have hailing features and all of that, but you're not recommending that.
Not on a smaller boat like this, no. We don't need all the bells and whistles.
Okay. So price-wise, this is probably going to be more affordable than
correct, yes.
all of that as well. Well, that's really great. What kind of antenna is going to match up to this radio?
We'll use the Shakespeare 5206C, which is an 8-foot antenna.
Can we go take a look at it?
Sure can.
Let's go. Now, Larry, you were recommending the 8-foot antenna. Why is that?
Because in this instance, we can't put up a larger antenna because we don't have the upper supports to support it. So the 8-foot 5206C with a 6 dB gain would be a very good match for that radio.
Range, what are we talking about?
Somewhere about 15 to 20 miles.
Okay, okay. Now, I noticed that a lot of these antennas are much more money than the antenna that you're recommending here. Why is that?
Well, this one starts out that it's a hollow antenna, and the center core is the copper wire runs up through the center.
Okay.
The other antenna is a solid antenna with the copper wire running up through it.
Okay.
That's a more durable antenna in certain conditions for fast boats where it's going to take a beating and stuff. That'd be a good antenna. For this boat where it's going to be mounted, the 5206C will do a fine job.
Price-wise, what are we talking about on this?
That's
antenna,
about $28.
Okay, so that's very reasonable.
Correct.
Now, I noticed here on the cable here. What do we need to do on this?
This is the PL259 connector. After you've run the cable to the radio, we take and we solder this on there. They have the end all stripped for you, and they give you instructions on how to do that if you're not familiar with that.
So we need to make sure we have a soldering iron.
Correct. You have to have a soldering iron to do that.
What are we talking about price-wise on that radio?
That's right around $199.
Okay, okay. Now, is there any other hardware we're going to need for today's job?
The only other thing you may need, if you don't already have it, is an antenna mount.
Okay, can we take a look at this?
Sure. We have 3 basic designs. We have a plastic, we have chrome bronze, and we have stainless steel.
Which one would you recommend?
On this job, I would use the stainless steel.
Okay.
The price difference between that and the chrome bronze is very minimal.
Okay.
And it will give you a much longer life.
Great, great. Well, we're going to go ahead and take this just for good measure. I'm not sure what the setup is on the boat, but we'll take this for good measure. Larry, thanks again for being on ShipShape.
Thanks, John.
Until next time.
Don't drift off. ShipShape will be right back.
The ultimate 3-in-1 boat hook from Surehold. Engineered to serve multiple purposes, this versatile 3-in-1 tool can be used as a traditional boat hook for docking and securing your vessel, for carrying a dock line to a pillar or cleat, for safely pushing off a dock space, and more. Compatible with all Surehold handles using the SureLock system, the Surehold boat hook is an essential tool for any successful boating adventure. Surehold. Clean and simple.
Hey, Burt. You all set up?
Yeah. What did Larry recommend?
He recommended this Apelco 5160.
Oh, great.
He said that'll do the job for us.
All right, great. Why don't you come on up in the boat and give me a hand pulling this old one out?
No problem. Well, Burt, what's the first thing we need to do here?
Okay, what we need to do is take out our radio box. Now, this particular radio box slides right out of the back of the console. It's a pretty nice feature. I guess it's one of Mako's
right.
features. I'm not.
What are you
really
taking
sure.
off here?
These 2 screws right here hold the mic in place in the box, and they're kind of mounted from the box into the side of the console also.
We get a new one with our radio, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how's this thing attached in the back?
In the back, there's 2 Velcro strips that help hold the box into the console.
I've never seen that before.
Now, this is the first time I've ever seen one like this.
That's neat.
It makes it pretty easy to take out.
And that's real simple.
Yeah. All right, now here we have all our wires on the back of our radio. We have our power and our ground.
Okay.
We have our external speaker.
Right.
And our antenna.
What's all this stuff?
Now, right here, this is Mark's stereo. He's got a pretty nice stereo in this boat. I'll just disconnect these wires.
Okay.
And we'll be able to pull out the box.
Now, did Mako design the Velcro straps, or is that an add-on?
I think this is all Mako.
Oh.
I'm not really sure. I've never put a
Is that heavy? Do you need any help with that?
a Mako before. No, it's not heavy at all.
Okay.
But here, you can take it.
Cool. Check this out.
Okay. Now we'll be able to put our mount our new radio right right in this same box.
Okay.
All right, got our old radio out of the way. Let's get ready to put our new one in. What do we got here?
Bert, I've got this application for ship radio station license. What's that all about?
You need to fill that out and send it in because you have to have a license to operate your VHF radio.
Okay.
By law.
I gotcha.
Okay.
There's also a temporary one here, so you can immediately, they want you using this radio if you get into trouble,
Right.
so you can immediately use it.
That will give you a grace period till you get your license.
Great.
That's all that is.
Great. Okay. Here's the new radio.
All right, what we need to do is put it in here and see how it's gonna sit in our, where the old one was.
Now, Larry was telling me that this Apelco is made by Raytheon, the people that do all of the radars and all of that. I mean, that's a big electronics company. And
Well, this looks like a very nice radio.
Well, he was telling me it's waterproof. It's got an O-ring on the front plate to seal it off. The thing's completely waterproof, and it's got your 16 plus key right here. And I guess what that does is, if you're in an emergency situation,
You just hit that button,
hit
it puts
that,
you on
boom,
automatic
you're
on
into the
16.
Coast Guard.
Right.
So that's a great feature.
There you go. Okay, what we need to do is pull this. I'm going to pull this shelf out and mark it because I'm going to mount this a little differently than the way the old radio was mounted in here.
Okay, let's
I'm
go
going to
ahead and do
use
that.
the mount. Okay, let me pull this apart. And if you want to go ahead and pull that the mount off the radio itself,
Okay.
while I pull this out,
Sure.
that way we'll be ready to mark where our pilot holes are going to be.
This has the ratchet holding. That's good. That
Yeah,
way
you can
move
set it
on.
at different settings, whatever angle you want. You want it pointed up at you or down or whatever. Okay, let's slide our tray out of here. Okay, and I'll be able to mark where I need to put my pilot holes.
There's a bracket.
Okay. Now, set it up here like so. All right. Okay. All right, let me go make a couple of pilot holes in this thing.
That way the gel coat on this won't crack at all.
Well, this is a gel coat on a piece of wood, probably a piece of teak or something. All right, we got our pilot holes drilled. Let's get our bracket here and get ready to mount. All right. All right, I'm ready to slide this piece back in here. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and mount my radio on it. Man, this thing gets hot laying in the sun. Okay, let's slide our shelf back in here. Go put these screws back in the side. Okay, let's slide this thing back into the console.
Okay.
And we'll get ready to hook up our wires.
Now, is there any special wiring we're going to need to do on this, Burt?
Actually, it's pretty simple.
Uh-huh.
It's got a plug. Other than we'll need to solder the connection for our antenna. I'm just going to I'm going to swedge some connections on for our power and our ground. And all I have to do is actually, like I said, all the thing I needed to solder is the antenna, I believe.
You want me to put the Velcro back through?
Yeah, if you want to hook that up,
I'm
going to go up front here. Take a look at how we're going to mount our mic
And this is so easy with this Velcro, Burt.
We get our mount screwed into place here. We'll hang our mic right on it.
Are these stainless screws, Burt?
Yeah, these screws are stainless. Okay, hang our mic right there. Okay, what we're gonna do is get ready to wire our radio. And what I have here is our power and our ground. And the yellow and green is an external speaker wire that I'm not gonna be hooking up on this radio because it has its own speaker internally. And I'm just gonna coil this up so where if Mr. Woodbury or Mark wants to put an external speaker on, they can at a later date.
Okay.
So we'll just plug in our connection here and get ready to wire our radio. I'm going to crimp our positive and our ground connections here so I can hook them back up to our electrical panel. I'm going to hook my power supply back up. What I've done now is I've hooked up our power supply and our ground. I've just cut the end off of our antenna wire here. I'm going to tie a piece of monofilament fishing line to it because our wire runs through our console up into the pipes of our T-top and out the top. So I'm going to drag the wire through with a monofilament on the end of it, and then I'll be able to fish the new antenna line back through. Get over there and help it. Okay, up through there, John. All right, I'm gonna take our old antenna off, get it up out here out of the way.
So that just screws right on.
Yeah.
You got the new antenna here, Burt.
Right.
She's an 8-footer. That's what Larry recommended. There you go, hand that up to him.
Okay.
So we'll just tie the fishing line onto this and fish it back through.
Yeah, run right back through the pipes of the T-top.
That makes it easy.
Yeah, it's not hard at all. You'll want to pull some out of there, John.
Okay.
Out of the top. Just
Pull
go
it
ahead and
out
pull.
of the
Yeah,
top?
just go ahead and
Okay.
pull some out, and then I'll feed it in.
That'll probably give it a little less resistance. right?
Yeah, it's just that's too many turns for it to try to make. Now that our cable is routed through, all we have to do is solder on our connection, plug it in, and do a radio check.
6-8 radio check. 6-8 radio check.
You've got a clear signal, Captain. Shipshape will be right back.
The SureHold One Bucket System is your storage and detailing solution, featuring an ergonomic corrosion-free rope handle, a bucket caddy to organize your supplies and lift them out with ease, a bucket grate to elevate your wash tools out of dirty water with integrated soap measuring cups, a bucket base that won't let your bucket scratch, tip, or slip, and a bucket lid that keeps tools secure and doubles as a comfortable seat. The SureHold One Bucket System, the world's best rope handle 5-gallon bucket. SureHold, clean and simple.
I'm at Stella Marine in Sawrill Harbor in Palm Beach Gardens, and with me today is Bob Stella, the owner of Stella Marine. Bob, again, welcome to ShipShape.
Hey, John, good to be aboard.
When we're talking about what's hot in the water, we're really talking about this 37-foot Mainship. Bob, tell us a little bit about this boat.
Well, it's a great new boat by Mainship. I'm sure you're impressed when you got aboard.
It's beautiful.
Big beam, lots of accommodations, and just an all-around purpose boat. Great
Fantastic.
boat.
Let's head up to the helm and see what we have.
Let's go.
Bob, this island helm is ideal. It accommodates the bench seating, it accommodates the L-shaped seating. you can have your entire crew sitting here comfortably with you while you're riding in this vessel.
You're up high enough also for a great view.
Absolutely.
Very easy to handle the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Someone wants to get off the bridge, they don't have to interrupt the captain. They can walk right through and right around.
I see you can also walk right to the front of this boat here.
That's
What's up with that?
It's a great feature. They designed this again for the user in mind. You can walk right out and handle the lines, which is most people's biggest fear coming into a dock.
Right.
And you're up good and high, so the attitude of the boat with the pilings on putting the line, it makes it very, very easy for your mate.
Fantastic. You don't have to worry about being on the sides and, you know, that threat of falling off or anything. You're going right to the front. You can head right to the back of this boat.
It saves a lot of yelling between the husband and wives.
Fantastic. Let's head on down below and see what you have.
Let's go.
Bob, the interior of this vessel is beautiful. The galley with the Corian counters, the full refrigerator. This boat has really thought of the woman in your life. It's very, very accommodating. Tell us a little bit more.
I'll tell you one thing, the men get impressed too. Aren't you impressed?
Absolutely.
Men play a big part today. Everything is bigger than it ever was before. The dinettes fit larger men, fit women, sit 6 or 8 people. The couches are very comfortable. The large staterooms, the separate heads with the separate showers. All of this plays a big part in boating today.
Fantastic. Now, how many people will this boat accommodate?
You could actually sleep 8 very, very easily in this boat.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Now, you have 2 staterooms.
You have 2 staterooms, windows in all your staterooms. Notice the large windows in your salon.
Mainship has really thought of bringing the outside in when they've designed this vessel.
Well, it's a lifestyle on the water, and you want to bring that outside. And you don't want to sit at home and look outside at the woods when you're on a boat. You want to look out and see other boats and other boaters.
Absolutely. The headroom in this boat is incredible. You don't feel claustrophobic. It's got to be 7 foot.
It's over 7 foot, and you've got a 14-foot beam. Beam plays a big part, as you know. And it's just a very, very accommodating boat.
Now, I know you had a very special weekend this past weekend, and you're carrying that over this week. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
We're having a show-off for '96, and what that means is, you know, I carry 8 different dealerships. Carver Yachts and Mainship and Regal. Fishing boats, of course, we have the Pursuit and the Prolines and the Shamrocks. And then we also have the Regals and the Monterey for cruising boats. So
Fantastic.
we bring in all the new '96 models and the representatives from the factories with low financing and special pricing. They don't have to travel miles and miles to view the boats. We have them right here in Palm Beach Gardens.
Great, and you've extended it this week so people could come on out
Right.
and see and all that. Bob, again, I thank you for being on Ship Shape.
Okay, thanks for having
Until
us.
next time.
Okay.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show,
And tune in next week.
because the projects keep getting bigger and better.
Thanks, guys.
See you.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. Ship shape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ship shape means trouble-free. Ship shape means being neater. Ship shape makes boating